Welcome back to Real TV, and I'm Stephen King, the real Stephen King. And y'all make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It don't cost a thing. Trying to grow this channel. But this man here needs no introduction. He's known not just in Illinois but around the country. This is Jeff Ford, better known as Abdul Malik Kabah. Ford was born in Aberdeen, Mississippi, February 20th, 1947. His other names that he's known by is Angel, Black Prince, and Chief Malik. He is the co-founder, allegedly, of the Black Peace Stone Nation. Around 1959, Fort and Harrison formed the Blackstone Rangers gang at St. Charles Juvenile Detention Center. And if y'all from Illinois, you've been in the streets, you know about St. Charles. But the Blackstone Rangers originated as a small youth gang along Blackstone Avenue in the Woodline area, assembled to defend themselves against other gangs in the South Side. Harrison was the leader of the gang, with Ford as his second in command. The Rangers fought rival gangs, especially the Devil's Disciples, during the early 60s. Ford earned the nickname Angel for his ability to solve disputes and form alliances between the Rangers and other gangs. And y'all got to think about this, man. Jeff Ford was nothing but 4'9". Small guy, man. Small in stature, but had a lot of powerful ideas and was able to organize. So it's not about the size of the man, it's about the size of the man ideas. But by the mid-60s, Ford assembled a coalition of 21 gangs allegedly with about 5,000 members. He organized the coalition under a governing body called the Main 21, composed of 21 gang leaders or generals. As the Rangers organization grew, it became involved in community and political activism. The gang also received support from a Presbyterian minister, Reverend John Fry, who advised Harrison and Ford how to manage their organization. In 1967, under Fry's guidance, Ford obtained a charter for the state of Illinois to form a political organization. Grassroots Independent Voters of Illinois, Ford organization applied for and received a $1 million federal grant from the now defunct Office of Economic Opportunity to fund a program to teach job skills to gang members. The Rangers also received grants and loans from private foundations. Unlike many gangs, the Black Peace Stone Rangers was not considered outsiders, but had been largely accepted by Chicago society, with Jeff Ford even receiving an invitation from President Richard Nixon following the 1968 election to attend the 1969 inaugural ball. Ford declined this invitation, sending his top man, Mickey Caldwell, and one of his generals in his stead. And I think that with that decision there, turning down an invitation from a president of the United States, that put a bullseye on his back. But let's fast forward. After Harrison was in prison in 1966, Ford assumed command of the Rangers. By 1968, he renamed it to the Almighty Black Peace Stone Nation, or Black Peace Stones. The Stones engaged allegedly in robberies, extortion, forced recruitment, while also acting to keep order on the South Side. The Stones also gained control of the vice in the South Side, demanding protection payments from prostitution operations and drug dealers. In 1969, the jobs program came under investigation amid accusations that the grant money was being diverted to criminal activities. Ford was subpoenaed to testify before the Senate committee. Ford introduced himself at the committee hearing and walked out, and for this he was convicted of contempt of Congress. This man had a lot going on, and when you in the political realm, it's either make friends or make great enemies. These people have shown themselves time and time again, to be wolves in sheep clothing. So once you start, gaining access to resources from these people. It's a certain amount of control that they want to exercise over you. And from the things I have been researching and the things that I have been reading about Jeff Ford, man, he was a real standoffish dude. You know, you just wasn't gonna tell him what to do or how to do it or where to be. You know, he was gonna walk how he wanted to walk. But in 1972, Ford and two others were convicted of misusing federal funds, and Ford was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Ford served 2 years at the United States Penitentiary in Leavenworth and was paroled in 1976. During his time in Leavenworth, Ford converted to Islam and assumed the name Prince Malik. After his release from prison in 1976, he moved to Milwaukee, Wisconsin and joined the Moor Science Temple. Ford then renamed the Black Peace Stones to the El Rukn tribe of the Moor Science Temple, El Rukn being Arabic for the pillar. In 1978, Ford returned to Chicago, and allegedly in a coup, he replaced the Stones' 21 generals with 5 close allies and renamed the Black Peace Stone Nation to El Rukn. In early 1977, Ford purchased the Oakwood, an old vacant movie theater located on 3947 South Drexel Avenue, as their headquarters, naming it the Fort. Law enforcement speculated that the motive for the conversion was to take advantage of the restrictions of law enforcement surveillance over religious organizations. During the 1970s, allegedly the gang trafficked in cocaine and heroin. In 1983, Ford was convicted of drug trafficking charges and sentenced to 13 years in prison. He was sent to the Federal Corrections Institution in Bastrop, Texas. Ford continued to lead El Rukn through daily telephone calls from prison. Allegedly, he ordered members of El Rukn to meet with Libyan officials, and allegedly the gang agreed to commit to terrorist acts in the United States in exchange for $2.5 million. In 1987, Ford was tried and convicted for conspiring with the Libyan government to perform acts of domestic terrorism on behalf of a foreign government. He was sentenced to 80 years imprisonment, consecutive to his drug trafficking sentence, and transferred to USP Marion, the federal prison in Marion, Illinois. In 1988, Ford was convicted of ordering the 1981 murder of a rival gang leader. He was sentenced to 75 years in prison to be served consecutively with his conspiracy sentence. Ford was transferred to newly opened ADX Florence Supermax Prison in Florence, Colorado in 2006 and remains there as of 2024, being under a no human contact order since his arrival. So, they done buried this man in concrete, man. You know, no human contact since 2006. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's enough for any man to go crazy. And it's a such thing as cruel and unusual punishment, man. You know, that's supposed to be a constitutional right. You're supposed to be protected from cruel and unusual punishment, but you know, these things are out in the open. You know, these are right out in the open, right before your very eyes. The suffering that a lot of these brothers done been through because they refused to tuck their tail. You know, they wanted power in this world. You know, they wanted control over their destiny. You know, this is cruelty at its worst. You know, and a lot of these allegations against this man, you know, that he was tried and convicted for, he wasn't even in the city of Chicago. He was locked up in federal prison, man, and constantly they came back and recharged him with this and recharged him with that to finally they closed the door on his future as being a free man. But y'all let me know, man. Y'all let me know, man. This man is 77 years old right now, man. You know, this man is 77 years old. And from 1986, let's see. Let me see, man. This is insane, man. This man been locked up a long time, man. Y'all bear with me. Yep. Yeah, since 1987, man. So y'all let me know what y'all feel about this man, what y'all feel about this story, the cruel and unusual punishment that this man continues to go through at 77 years old. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation, man. Y'all think Jeff Ford should be free, man? I think he should be free, man. I think he's a prime example of a political prisoner, man. You know, within the United States or United Snakes of America, man. But I'm going to talk to you guys later, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, man. This is Real TV, and I'm Stephen King, the real Stephen King.